Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about what was involved in the overall process of diagnosing my folding top issues on my 2005 Cadillac XLR. We'll start with an explanation. So, as you can see, the trunk works. Got a pump in there, and that I had that rebuilt by Top Hydraulics. That was fundamental, obviously, to the overall operation. And then I had the 3 potentiometers, and I'm probably going to struggle to get all 3 in this one, but there's one right in here. You can see it right up in there. That's where my finger is. That's one. That is for the rear tonneau. There's one that goes right in here. That's for the folding roof, and I'll show a photo of that later. And then there's one under the front tonneau that I'll show as well. That basically will explain a little bit more in detail. All right, so we're going to show you whereabouts is the other potentiometer. It's right back here. That's one for the roof. As you can see, the roof is, I've stopped it partially, and then the other one I'll get to as I finish the roof. Hang on. The other potentiometer is right there. So I had all 3 of those reworked by a guy named Mike Ripley. I'll put his email address down there. He's a great guy, very helpful. Does good work, turned them around quick, and that was important. Then you can kind of see the stains on back here in the trunk area, because I had to have both of those cylinders, that one and that one, rebuilt by Top Hydraulics. They did a great job, turned them around as well. Like I said, they did the pump. And then I also ended up doing a folding top module, which is fastened to the pump assembly down here as well. So I'll explain more of that in just a minute. Okay, so a quick explanation and overview of the problem when I started this mess was that the top didn't work, and I had multiple issues. One is I showed you the 2 master or main lift cylinders were leaking. That was a problem. The pump wasn't functioning correctly, and so I had that rebuilt. Caused a bunch of different issues. When I got that back, I was able to open the trunk, but I couldn't close the trunk. And then I had problems with the tonneau cover. Well, the front tonneau cover, which is right up here, and it would open, and then the process would stop. So it would never finish the process. Talking to my friend Mike Ripley, he suggested I move those potentiometers around, which I did, and the problems moved, meaning where it stopped in the actual process of the folding top. So when I did that, we agreed, we pulled the potentiometers, and we sent them off, and he reworked them, and that was very, very helpful. We were hopeful that my folding top module was not going to be a problem, but it turned out it was, and I was able to find one and put it in. So I ended up with a folding top module, 3 reworked potentiometers, and I got that done for a really good price. Mine was good that way. And then the main lift cylinders were rebuilt by Top Hydraulics, and then I had the pump system redone by Top Hydraulics. all told, it functions and it works, and I'm just pleased that it did. But it's a process and a little bit of a computer science and hydraulic science project, but nonetheless, hopefully that gives you a good understanding of how, what's involved in this. But I think the potentiometers play a really big part of that. And then obviously the folding top modules, the brains, but mine wasn't wet or anything like that. It just wouldn't work and couldn't function. And at one point I had tried to have it rebuilt. That was a fallacy. Good news is they credited me, so that's not worth talking about, but I ended up having to replace it. Now we just need GM to produce a few more of those for other people that have similar issues. All right, I hope that's helpful. Take care. One other thing I forgot to mention is when you go through the relearn process and the diagnostics, is I kept getting hung up when in the relearn process that it said it was calibrating on the Tech 2 scanner. I had to buy a Tech 2 scanner. I bought a Chinese knockoff. It seemed to work okay. A little bit of a leap of faith in the purchase, but it worked out. But as I was working through this, it's a key tool in the overall instrumentation need to figure out things. And you can see this box over here. It's basically, that's what Tech 2 scanner looks like. And there is a relearn process out there. I might do another video just to kind of supplement some information out there. But that was key to figuring out the whole thing. Thanks. Hey, just wanted to make note of follow-up on some other aspects of fixing this top. First, obviously, the stuff over here, that's the sidewalls, the fender well covers and all that. I got to put that back in. And then, of course, the carpet and that one piece of matting was replaced because it was oil soaked. It's a mess, but got most of the hydraulic oil out of the carpet. Looks pretty good. And then as I mentioned earlier, the relearning, there's a video out on YouTube of XLR relearn and how to do it. It's pretty simple. The thing is, if it gets hung up, that tells you that it's obviously not going to work. Relearning will work as long as it runs through the process, but if it doesn't run through the process, obviously you've got other issues. And then I also put a picture of, as I talked about, the main lift cylinders. There's little O-rings that connect that hose. I didn't see them when I took it out, but they were obviously there. And Klaus from Top Hydraulics, when he rebuilds it, sends it back with it, or those O-rings back with it. That's key, getting those right. And pay attention to that little clip I put in this video of the picture when you get it, because if you don't put them in right, then they'll leak. Ask me how I know. And then the other thing is in regards to finding Mike Ripley, he's out of Tennessee. He's a good guy, and he was very, very helpful. I've got some other documentation that he sent me on really helping me diagnose this. I think it was a service bulletin. So just keep that in mind. And most of why I didn't show you all the other how to take them out and all that is because Klaus from Top Hydraulics kind of shows you that. He's got great how-to videos. So just go to Top Hydraulics videos on YouTube and watch them. I watched them at length and maybe in a couple, 2 or 3 times, but it was instrumental in finding the solution for all of this. So that's the end of the story. Hope y'all have a great year.